that. How's everyone doing today? Where is that button? Button. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay. It's Tuesday. That, don't need that anymore. That's a prop. Go live in there. Yeah, you stay there. So what's everyone up to today? What is everyone up to today? It's Tuesday. It's RatRig Tuesday, my dudes. And we got ourselves more wiring. So just lack of RatRig. Set in RatRig. There you go. That's a big boy. I'm pretending to work. Good job. Doing a great job. So yeah, so today we are on to the wiring of the RatRig itself. And actually, I just got a little birdie messaged me this morning. Close that down, open that. Look at this. There is now documents on the RatRig Dozuki about how to do the wiring. Suggested time, question mark. That's good. So we're gonna follow the guide for the wiring because I'm pretty sure we're at that point now with the build that we're doing wiring. We got the tool head built. Mechanically it's done. We got to put the bed on at some point. Yeah, kinematic mount. But yeah, so that is what we're doing today. So before you miss out on the fun, make sure you enter for your chance to win some Polymaker filament because we give away a spool every stream. And this stream is like every other stream. So we're giving away a spool like we do every stream. So make sure you enter. Link in the description below. And then also a little bit of housekeeping. There will be no Friday stream this week. The original plan was to do a the monthly members only stream, the Only Benchy Yacht Club stream, either Wednesday or Thursday this week. We're not doing it tomorrow because it's my birthday, and we're not doing it Tuesday or Thursday because instead of doing a regular Friday stream, I actually have a guest on the stream for Thursday. So Thursday, 11 a.m., we're gonna have Grant from 3D Musketeer actually on the stream. So we're gonna have we're gonna resume the talking shop. I want to call it a podcast, but the banter. We had a few people last year. We had Steve, Max, Russian cat food, and Modbot on last year. And it's been a while since I've done one, so yeah, we're gonna resume it. We're gonna resume it. So we're gonna have Grant on Thursday. And thank you for all the happy birthdays. You know, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow's the birthday. Not 35 yet, damn it. So yeah, so it's going to be basically kind of like the previous ones where we pick a few topics that we'll just kind of talk about, and it's talking shop. So it's not like set in stone interview. It's just banter between two people and just talking. Whatever comes up, comes up. So that's kind of the plan. And Joel, if you're watching, the door is still open. I know. One day we'll get you on. One day we'll get you on. I'm 34 and 364 days. Was it a leap year this year? Can't remember. Andy B, $5. Cheers. Welcome to Getting Old. How's your back? My back sucks. My knees are bad. Friends don't like friends join the infantry. What did you learn trade skill wise? I could do what I'm told to do and I can make things go boom. Why would I make a bamboo rant today? It's actually been pretty good. I printed, where did I print it? I printed this. The resin video is taking longer than I thought because I keep re-recording stuff. But I needed a comparison. So actually, this obviously is resin. So this is resin. This is Melania, the blade of Mikola. I'm sure you're well aware. And then I actually printed it on the bamboo at its 0.12 layer height at 50% speed, just for a comparison. And obviously some details just don't really work too well, like her face guards broke off, and you don't get the same texture that you get with like you can see there's texture detail you'll never be able to replicate with FDM, but it did a pretty bang up job. And also it's printed in marble, which this is the easy point. This is how you get easy internet points for, wow, your prints look so good. You printed in marble because it hides all the defects. So. What resin? So I was using lychee, but then I started getting issues where every file I tried to print was corrupted, and I don't know why. So I went to using the Anycubic slicer that, like, you get free with the printer. That sucks. That's going to be one of the things I'm touching on with the resin video is the hardware is good, the results are good, but the slicers are spongy and weak, and you got to pay for them. Okay, so anyways, we're building a printer today, right? Right. Okay, so let me pull up the actual enclosed manual. So where do we leave off? We built the tool head, the enclosure panels. I'm assuming we don't put the panels on yet. I'm assuming you don't put the panels on yet. If anyone from RatRig is in the audience, it's just because on here you have wiring at the end. And I try to follow the manual the best I can to make sure, like, everything's logical for people who are following along. Because you have put the panels on before the wiring. I'm assuming wiring should become before the panels, just because of ease of access. Yeah. So we're going to do that. All the extra stuff. Yeah, getting into resin printing, it's like prepping for a World of Warcraft raid. You better have all your gear and your consumables, because you're going to need them. And if you don't, you're going to make a fool of yourself. Now or later. Okay, I'll do the panels later, just because, you know, it's nice to be able to do this when you're building stuff. So we'll do the panels later. Okay, so we got the back. I love this printed thing. I love that. I should have a box of electronical stuff. I do. So what do we got in here? We got that thing. I'm going to need that thing. I'm going to need this thingy. Going to need a Raspberry Pi. I do have a security system in the house. This is stored in a safe. So if you try to get in here, you're not safe here. Did it come with an SD card? I don't think it came with an SD card. I probably got to supply my own SD card, I'm assuming. We got an SSR. It is a Sealin SSR. It's got the little covers. That's good to see. I like little covers on SSRs. And I think it's an RPI 4 too. Pi 4 Model B. Ooh. Ballin' over at RatRig HQ. They actually have Raspberry Pis to sell. Stepper drivers. And we have our Octopus. So we are doing Rat OS. So we are doing Clipper on this. We are doing Clipper. You can go there. What do you think about Orca Slicer? I haven't used it yet. I probably should. I haven't used it yet. But basically, to my knowledge, it's basically you take Bamboo Slicer and everything that was taken out of it from Prusa Slicer, you put back in and then you put a cherry on top. To my understanding, that's Orca Slicer, which was called Soft Fever, and they changed it. But I gotta find the picture here. Let me find it here. Where is it? Where is it? From user me. What? I'm in my own Discord. How can I not find my own stuff? Okay, Discord's not working right now. It's a picture of the GPL attributions. Let me see if I could pull it up here. Orca Slicer. Where is the license? Orca Slicer license. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Orca Slicer is licensed under the GNU FBR public license. Orca Slicer is based on Bamboo Studio. Bamboo Studio is licensed under the blah, 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 blah. Orca Slicer, or Bamboo Studio, is based on Prusa Slicer by Prusa Research. Prusa Slicer is based on blah, 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 based on Slicer, or Slick 3R, by this dude. Slick 3R is blah, 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 and help of other attributors. The new blah, 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 blah. It just turtles all the way down at this point. It just turtles all the way down at this point. I'm waiting now. So what needs to do, there needs to be a Slick 3R update that pulls in stuff from Orca Slicer so that we can have circular logic. So it could just be an infinite loop of slicers attributing other like stuff. I know, that's how open source works. I know, that's awesome, because you get all the good stuff. Like, I am really looking forward to, Prusa is working on their own version of Input Shaper. Input Shaper was a thing before Clipper implemented. It's been a thing that's existed for years, okay? Clipper just has an implementation of it. And now Marlin does. But Marlin's is more a print and adjust based off a print tower versus actually like reading stuff. Prusa is apparently figuring out how to do it on a normal STM32 using the accelerometer and not using the raw power of a Raspberry Pi. So what I'm really interested in is seeing how their implementation works, how you can get it to work on less powerful hardware, and if you can get it to work on less powerful hardware, how good is it when you run it on more powerful hardware? Because currently, Input Shaper is a set and done thing. It'd be really nice if it could tune on the fly while you print. But that's... So that would be, you know... And hey, if their version of it's better, well, then we just... And then we can add another attribution to everything. Okay. Wiring. Okay, please note, all measurements are provided with a 300. Okay, so we got a 200, so minus 100. If you're building different size of cable, oh, actually, no, it would be different because it's a cube. Okay, so those are all the same. We're all the same. Okay, close enough. So mains power of the circuit must be done by a professional. That's me. Mains electricity can kill or severely injure people or cause damage to property. If you don't know what you're doing, get somebody who does. I did do civil engineering in college, including mains wiring. So I am actually kind of familiar. Plus, this isn't my first rodeo when it comes to wiring up a printer. The background, is that on phrase? No, it's because the camera focuses on an area. And if I happen to move, I move out of the area. It is what it is. It's autofocus. It is what it is. I could set the focus manually and just have it always set for like me right here. But if I'm working over here, it doesn't. So sometimes it just doesn't track my face right. It's in awe of my beard and it can't stare at it. Okay, so set up the power supply. Okie dokie. So for the power supply, we got a LRS 224. That is fine because we got mains, or it's a SSR mains powered bed. Set to 115 because I live in North America. Okay, mount the power supply. So we mount the power supply there with 4 M410s. Okie dokie. Is it focusing on the printer? Because the problem is I got reflective stuff in the background too, so I'm probably gonna have to look in a different bag. I got a feeling. M410s, M410s, M410s. 410s. Are you? No, no, no. Extra part bag. And 312s. No. So let's move some of this stuff because I've got a bunch of extra stuff floating around here. Okay, this is electrical. That's that. I got all its wiring. I got that. Okay. See, 410s. 410s, where are you? Where are you, M410s? M36s, M38s, M614s. Maybe in this bag. Capacitor and some wire for the electrons are not yet included with the kit. Okay, so I may have to scrounge from my stock bag. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because the electrical's always kind of been like, I understand sometimes not kind of, because of people's different skill levels, sometimes it's better to just go, if you don't know what you're doing, get a professional, because it prevents somebody from, you know, doing it wrong and potentially damaging things or hurting things or breaking things. Sometimes it is better just to say, if you don't know what you're doing, don't mess with it. And if you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. So I kind of get it. I do kind of get it. Like with Vorons, I think that we kind of took a stance with that for a while too. If I'm not mistaken, it's been a while. Where's the background music? It's not on because I haven't pushed the button. There we go. Now it's on. Yeah, these are long enough. Okay. So it just mounts directly to the ABS sheet, which is non-conductive, and the power supply, I'm assuming the outlet is down. Okay. Yep. Oh, and the reason I was ever so slightly late today. So now we got that going, which is nice. For some reason, like there's a plugin for OBS that works through like an API through the internet for some reason. And it wasn't working. It kept like, every time I rebooted OBS, it would stop working. So now it's just a toggle switch. I had to go in and like remap some stuff or reassign some keys, but it's working now. And that's what matters. And for those that are curious what the music is, because people ask, Stream Beats is what I use. Aaron, thank you for becoming a member. Confirmation delivery. Ooh, what'd you get? Awesome and free to use. Yeah, it's funny. Like I actually really like the Stream Beats music. Like they need some more. My gripe with Stream Beats, I use Stream Beats in my videos. The problem is all the songs are like 2.5 minutes long. So if I have like a 15-minute video and I just want generic background music, I have to throw a bunch of random songs in there to fill it all up instead of just like a consistent track. And I wish they had more music that was like situational instead of just like, oh, it's lo-fi. It's like, no, music for like getting ready or everything's falling apart or a funny moment, like situational music instead of just tracks. Like it's good as what it is. And it's kind of meant more for like your video game streamer than the kind of streaming I do, but still, there's always room for improvement. Okay, so we got to put some stuff in here. So, what do we got here? We got 5 volts, 12 volt, and 24 volt. Why do we have 3 different voltages for the fans? Are the fans different voltages? I never looked at these fans to see what the voltages are. I assume they were all 24, but am I wrong? Nope. Yeah, that's 12 volt. The big chonky boy is 12 volt. And I guess the part fan is, well, one of them's 5 volt. Okay, well. Yeah. Wait, I got 1, 2. I got 2 fans on the hot end. Where's the third fan? What's the third fan? Do I have a third fan? Where is the third fan? Am I missing a fan? I can't be missing a fan. Oh, the probe? Is it the probe? Electronics fan. Yeah, maybe there's an electronics fan somewhere that I don't know where I put. I've got 2 builds ongoing right now, so I'm having a habit where like I mix stuff up. Hello from Michigan. Hello. Okay, so assemble the Octopus. Remove all the jumpers on the board before starting. Okie dokie. I could do that. Huh. It lives. We'll do a business card, another USB-C cable. I've got a million of them. Oh, it just meant to show the jumper configuration. Okay. Thing is catching the mic. Okay, so what do we got for controller? We got an Octopus. Which one is this? I don't think this is the recall one. No, 446. We're good. There's one, somebody correct me, but I'm pretty sure there's like one version of the Octopus that's kind of got a recall going on right now. Okay, so now, turn you on. Mobile. Take out all the jumpers. So all the jumpers. Rev, yeah, heater issue. Yeah, Big Tree Tech needs to sort their stuff out. Although, Big Tree Tech is coming out with a, it's basically a CB1 with a built-in touchscreen. So it's basically the Creality Sonic Pad, but with the CB1. But apparently, unlike Creality's implementation, which I am not a fan of and don't approve, and I recommend you don't buy, Big Tree Tech is using just good old-fashioned normal clipper with user access to the root. So it's not a lockdown, potentially unsafe thing. So if they can sort out the issues with the CB1, which as far as I'm aware are mostly firmware related, they might have a decent option there when that comes out. So, but as always, I'm gonna wait until others have tried it to see if it even works first. The 4028 is PWM and uses 5-volt signal to control. Yeah, I got 4 wires on that. How am I going to wire that up? Are they both like that? Both fans are PWM and uses 5-volt. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, something cool on the BQBX. Well, I got a Pad 5. Like, here's the thing. I have a Big Tree Tech Pad 5. And it works great. The problem is it's got a CM4 in it. And I really don't want to, I won't say waste it, but I don't want to waste it on something. Because I want to make this into a handheld, but I got to figure out the electronics for that. Mostly I got to figure out, if anyone knows of a cheap, because you can buy PCBs for like things. A PCB, because I want to try and do mostly off the shelf stuff. I hate using custom stuff in builds. But I need to find a PCB for controllers that will fit on each side. That gives me like, I want joystick because I want to be able to emulate like PS2 games on this or PS1 games. So I need joystick control and like Zelda and whatnot. Okay, so removed all those. So we need 24 volt, 12 volt, 5 volt. Okay, so that would be Y. So you're 5 volt. You're 12 volt, and you're 24 volt. And then I got to put these in, which one is it? I got to put this jumper on, that jumper is already on. I need to put these in there. Okay. CNC boards. Yeah, I did some looking a little while ago, it's just trying to figure out like a complete off-the-shelf solution that I'm looking for something that you can just basically solder together and throw in a 3D printed case and then call it a day. Like minimal amount of bodging, basically. I like simple. Okay, so that is that. Okay. If you want to emulate old games, you better off to buy something like a proper console, either RatRig. Yeah, but I already have that. And it's mostly a project for the channel. It'd be mostly a project for a channel. If I'm going to emulate a game, I'm just going to do it on my computer. Why Voron is good printer for printing speed the same like Ender 3. Voron don't have same printing speed as Ender 3, and Voron is not a bargain tier budget machine like an Ender 3. There are plenty of videos on the internet. Okay. Gotta put our steppers in. So we got the last 3 and the first 3. Okie dokie. And you can't really put these in. Well, I'm sure you could with enough, you know, with a big enough hammer, but these really only go in one way. So. Okay, and we got some heat sinks here. Yeah, V-wheel. Yeah, V-wheels are not great. I don't like. Friends don't like friends use V-wheels on printers. Be better than that. I really wish they made these boards without step sticks, honestly. Like, these boards would be so much better if they just had integrated steppers. They'd be more compact, less cooling issues. You know, we really don't need cooling. We run into many cooling issues with TMCs, unless you're really pushing them. What drivers? These are 2209s, I believe. Yeah. I built a V2, but print speeds of more 400 and okay. Well, there's a bunch of tuning guides. Look up Ellis's tuning guide. Follow that. Because you should be able to get more speeds out of that. And then as for 120, that, well, what hot end did you use? Like, I don't print fast on my Vorons. Vorons, while capable of going fast, are by no means meant to be like a speed benchy printer. It's just Core XY happens to be a good motion system, is compact, and also has the ability to go fast. But look at the standard cooling solutions and whatnot. Voron was never meant to be a super duper speed printer. It's just a normal fast printer. Okay, so now we got to put that on. So we got M316s, spacers, block nuts. Okay. So I'm assuming, which way is down? Is there a picture? I'm assuming power down. Yeah, power down. Okay. M316s. Oh, we got our spacers here. Well, I did some speed. Remember, back before companies were doing it, just slapping, you know, clipper on a V-wheel and calling it a new machine. We did that on an Ender 3 V2 like over 2 years ago, I think. We put clipper on an Ender 3 V2 and made that baby run, and it printed like shit. So, just because you can go fast doesn't mean you can go fast. M316s, M312s. I've got a feeling I mixed up screws from one batch with another. Block nuts, need these. building a rook. Yep, when I'm waiting on a kit. Fabrico's doing a kit, and I will be getting one of those, and we will be building with one of those. Okay, so M312, M312. Yeah. So M316s. Okay, so we got what? Spacer on the top and on the bottom? Oh no, spacer on the bottom. Yeah, just spacer on the bottom. And that goes there. Okay. That's gonna be fun. I plan to try printing Ulta again at some point, but I'm in no rush to melt the front off a printer again. But at some point we will play around with it again. Just not today. These M316s are a little long, but nothing comes back here, so it's not like it's gonna interfere with anything. And I'm on the wrong camera. I wish I had voice commands for the cameras. It'd make it a lot easier. Okay, computer, camera 3. There we go. I'm just waiting for ChatGPT to have a voice function, and then I can make it a side character on the stream and use it for content. Because then I would have somebody to talk to other than chat. As long as it has a sarcasm setting. If there's a sarcasm setting, I'm all for it. Use TTS for that. Yeah, but it's not the same. I did try TTS for a while. The problem is I pay too much attention to chat. So the problem with like chat TTS, what ends up happening is I read it first and then I start responding to it, and then TTS starts speaking out, and then I'm talking over TTS and it just becomes a mess because I pay too much attention to chat. We'll take our job. Oh, it probably is going to take all our job. Well, not my job. I'm a personality. You can't fake a personality. Says every teen who walked out of Fight Club back in the 90s. This is now my personality. Go. Okay, that is that. Now we got to put on the SSR. So M510 cap screw and a lock nut. So for those wondering, SSRs, yes, there's a reason the back of them is metal. Usually these are attached to a heat sink. However, the amount of load you are putting an SSR on, especially one that's rated for 40 amps, is not 40 amps. So yes, technically you should always, heat sink an SSR, but you're nowhere near stretching it to the point where it's generating enough heat to really need a heat sink in 3D printing applications. For example, the SSR on this machine is mounted to a PETG bracket. It's been fine for 5 years. So yeah. So we're mounting it to plastic here, and I'm not concerned. If you are worried, mount it to a heatsink, then mount it, but you may not have room. Can you attach to an extrusion? You can, and I've seen people do that, and that is a valid way of doing it. That's that. Where's the mains voltage on this one? Okay, so that's 3 to 32 volts, so that's the main side. Okay. So where does this guy go? You go down here. Okay, so if that's, we're gonna have the main side on this side. Use PETG. I use PETG because I printed this machine originally on a V1.5 that didn't have a great enclosure. It was a garbage bag. So what I did was anything that wasn't in the chamber, I printed in PETG. Just make it a little bit easier on me. Because this was originally a V2.0 back in the day. Back in my day. Wrench. PF Dennis, get to 5 community memberships. Cheers. Stiffer is PLA. Yeah. Oh yeah. PLA is much stiffer than PETG. PETG is noodly. You can get away with it. Like Prusa gets away with it simply for the fact of the geometry of their parts are relatively small. So there's not really a lot of places where like noodle comes into play. Because the parts are like stubby. So it's not really a huge issue. But on like big things like an AB motor mount on a Voron, you kind of want stiff. ABS is not as stiff as PLA, but you get the temperature. And then as PETG gets hot, it gets more noodly. So, okay, so we got that, we got that, we got that. Mount the pie. Do I have 2.5 millimeter screws? I don't know. I put the pie. Uh-oh. Oh, here's the pie. There's my pie. Let me see what I got. Let's see what's in the bin. What are you? You're M3. I could have sworn I had a bin with smaller ones. Maybe you're in here. Ah. That'll work. Oh. Which pie is this? It's like a 3. Is that a 3A? That's a 3A. Okay, so it looks like it's mounted like that. Okay. Guess it doesn't really matter which way you mount the pie. We're gonna mount it the way it shows just because, but I'll go right there. So I've got these guys. These are M2 standoff kits. So I'm thinking, oh shoot, this might be too small. Nope, that'll work. That'll work. Put the standoffs on here. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. That works. Big brain. Yeah, whoever it is at the Raspberry Pi Foundation that decided we're gonna make our holes exactly 3 mil. Yeah, why? Why couldn't you just be normal and just use, you know, a normal size like M3 instead of like some weird oddball size that, you know. Or hey, people are using, you know, bigger screws more. We should change up the size a bit. You can put an M3 screw in here. I've done it. You just kind of cut a little thread. Okay, that's not the right size. This is the right size. Yeah, it's a 4. It's a 4B plus. Because they are British. Yeah, that is a thing. Am I rich or I'm a small-time YouTuber. I am far from rich. And I did a big brain move and bought a car the other day, so I'm really not sure. I'm new. Which, if anyone wants to buy a slightly rusty 2012 Ford Focus, let me know. But this came with the kit. This came with the kit. Okay, so I'm gonna put you right here, like this. What kind of car? I bought a Subaru Crosstrek because I've got to do a bunch of driving this year to events in the States, and doing it in an 11-year-old Ford Focus, driving across the Appalachians, and I'm deathly afraid of banjos. New car first. Well, here's the thing. I'm really glad, because in the 11 years I've owned my Focus, I had nothing go wrong with it. All I've done is gas, brakes, oil, and tires. In 11 years of ownership, that's all I put into the car. Is that. Which means it's all about to go. Let's put M2 nuts are small. There we go. So that's the problem with everything, you know. I haven't put any money into it, which means I haven't put any money into it. So. Okay, what size are you? Size? Okay. Confused on. I've had no issues with it, and my wife has an Escape, and it's been great. But the problem is, it just... Basically, I was looking for whatever the cheapest car that had all the options I wanted were. Which printer is best bang for your buck? Right now, it's the Vol SV06. And if you're looking to spend more than that, a Bamboo Lab P1P. Unless you are looking for unless you need something bigger than 250, or you just don't want those machines for whatever reason, those are really the two machines you should be looking at if you're looking to get into 3D printing right now, and you don't know quite what you want, and depending on your budget, those are the two machines. It is a P1P or an SV06. They do have the SV06 Plus, which if you need a bigger machine, go with that, I would say. But those are currently my recommended for printers, because they're just so much bang for the buck. Like it's hard to justify anything else. Like you know, any other company's like shitty cheap V-wheel bed flinger compared to like an SV06, it's like Nylon and PEEK. Nylon's not hard. PEEK, you're not printing PEEK at home. Why are you trying to print PEEK at home? Hope I like. They fixed the head gasket issue on Subarus years ago. That hasn't been a thing for quite a while. And also, I put like no kilometers on cars, so yeah. Is it plus shipping yet? I don't know if it's shipping yet. Okay, so we've already put this on. Mount the panel collar. Okay, which side goes where? Yeah, no. I've seen it. I've seen it. I know I have it. I just don't know where I have it. Seen it. Here it is. What do I like about the RatRig? I don't know. I haven't built it yet. Okay, so what side goes on? Mount the panel collar. Take care not to over tighten. Mount the panel collar on the whole. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna put the smooth side on the inside. Yeah, you have to. You have to because there's a fitting there. So we got ourselves a grommet basically. Have to recommend Prusa. Prusa Mini, depending on the situation, school, you're looking for, you know, something a little bit more open source with a little bit more of a pedigree, maybe. The Prusa Mark III is so hard to recommend right now. It's just, its price just makes it, especially compared to the SV06. SV06 does everything a Mark III does for a third the cost. It's hard to recommend a Prusa Mark III right now. And especially considering the XL's coming out soon, which means you're probably going to be seeing a Mark IV soon. Okay, I can't get this to thread on all the way. Oh well, I guess just a grommet, so we'll just leave that for now. Okay, fully populated panel. Hey, mine looks like that, kind of, sort of. Okay. Okay, so now we got to do that. Okay, so we got some electrical. You don't have to assemble the SV06. This is true. You don't have to assemble a Prusa either. You can buy them fully assembled. Take them out of the box and print. It really depends what you're looking to get out of your machine and what you're looking for. If you're looking for something for a school or a small business, getting something like a Prusa makes more sense because you have support, warranty. It makes a little bit more sense in the long run. If you're looking for just something for a little hobby machine because you've seen a funny print online and you want to dabble in 3D printing, investing that much doesn't really make a lot of sense. It used to be too, you could buy a Prusa and the resale value was pretty good, but now with, like, you know, bamboos and whatnot on the market, their resale value ain't what it used to be. So okay, there are 2 lengths of wire for each color. Carefully use the red positive, okay, and black is negative. Okay, so where are my wires? I got this big bundle of wires. And is that it for wires? I got these. Are there no other wires? Is that it for wires that I get with this kit? I got the bed here. That's it, I think. I'm gonna have to make my own wires, it looks like. Which I kind of knew. Yeah, that's from a different kit. Yeah, okay. Well, I got, those are not yet included. Okay, fine by me. I know I have some. Where's my thick black wire? This key box. Oh, I got spade terminals. I'm gonna need you. Yeah, we'll use U for mains and U for ground. That works. Okay, that'll work. Oh. And now I need 20 gauge. This is 20 gauge of that. Is this 20 gauge? I think this is 20 gauge. I think you're 20 gauge. And where is the red? There's the red. Okay, so this is 20 gauge. Okay. And then I need these terminals. No, not those ones. I need these guys. And I don't know where all my spades went. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay. Buy much, little, no support or warranty. It depends. Like, I'm a DIYer, right? So I have no problem, you know, taking support into my own hands when it comes to building a printer. Not everyone's like that though. Some people just want a turnkey solution. They just want to print, right? They just want a machine they can take out of the box, hit print, and it prints, which it makes sense for a lot of people, depending on what you're trying to do. But other people, they may, you know, a lot of the stuff we do in 3D printing is dependent on your use case, your needs, right? Not everyone has the same needs. Not everyone, it depends. There is no yes or no answer for a lot of questions in a hobby like this. And if you think there is, you're wrong. Like, I really like Vorons, as you can tell. I'm on the Voron team. But if you come to me and go, hey, I want to build a 500, millimeter cube Voron, I'm going to say go buy a RatRig or go build a RatRig. Because Voron, like, it depends. RatRig is working on an electronics kit with all the fasteners and wiring included. That's good to see. That is good. Oh, no, I need this guy. And now, LDT screwdriver time. Go. Okay, so this one, we're following the manual, goes from there to there. Okay, so positive to positive. Or is that, no, that's negative, so that's black. So where is black? Number 2 is shilling the LTT. Is it good? Define shilling. Buying a product and liking it is not shilling. I purchased it with my own money. I like it. I've been using it for months now. I think it's worth it in my use case. So that's not shilling. Look up the actual definition of shilling and use it correctly, because a lot of people are using it wrong and you're diluting what the term means. Okay, so does this go underneath this, or do I go, oh, I can't go under it. Okay, so I guess I gotta go, do I go through it? How should I be doing this? How should I be doing this? How should I be doing this? just got to go over here. Do I go down and around? I guess I can go down and around. It's not a huge issue, but yeah, we'll go down and around. We'll go down and around. Now, I will say a bunch of tech YouTubers were given LTT score screwdrivers. I was not one of those fortunate to, so I had to buy mine. But it's a good screwdriver. Like is it worth the money is dependent on you. I think it's a really good ratcheting screwdriver for electronics projects because it's got a very light ratcheting mechanism. So it works really good with the small screws we use in this. Downside is it's big. So using it on like a V0 build is annoying, but they're making a stubby version, which I need. Remember year when it was streaming on a virtual machine? Oh, V Minion. Okay. Oh, well, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Eva, I guess. I was just trolling. Oh, okay, well. Save that for when it's a birthday then. Oh, I put that in upside down. Okay, so that is that. 24 volt circuit, so we need another one and that. So these ones are just, okay, just prep them. Now we got a red one, okay. So normally, if you're familiar with the way I wire things up, I'm following the manual here because it's a manual and that's what we're doing. But normally when I wire up printers, what I like to do is I like to wire from the plug to the end. So I start at the plug and I work my way back. And that way I can test stuff as I go. So you plug in the plug, you connect it to the power supply, you turn it on, you make sure your power supply works. Then everything's right, you can check your voltages and whatnot. Then you wire up your controller board, make sure that gets power. Then you wire up your Raspberry Pi, then make sure that gets power. Then you go and wire up your tool head. I like doing it that way, just in case, you know, if you mess something up early on, you don't take out everything downstream of it. The last thing you want to do is fry all your stuff. Because, you know, you accidentally mixed up, you know, positive and negative right at the beginning. So I'm going to put some zip ties and get this all cleaned up eventually. So that's that. I have to try and pull the wire to make sure they don't come out. Okay, okay, we're good there. Oh, it does have it go through. Oh, it has it go through the chain. I see. Oh wow, I'm wasting a bunch of wire here then. Okay, cool. Well, let's do this. Take all these out. Take all these out. Take all these out. Well, I'm not recrimping these. These ones are just gonna be long. That goes in there. That can go in there, and we're just going to pretend this extra wire is slack in case it gets pulled. There we go. There we go. There we go. Voila. C'est bon. C'est bon. I am hungry. It's slack. Yeah, it's just, you know, if there's an earthquake, it doesn't, you know, accidentally pull out. Oh, that didn't. Service loop. Yeah, it's future proofing. And I just stabbed myself with. So anyone here going to Rapid in Chicago in early May? It's more of a professional trade show, not like a rap fest. So it's not the same audience. But is anyone else going? Rocky Mountain, yeah. LDO is free. I know, I got a media pass. I actually applied for a media pass and got it. Moving on up in the world. And then the guy emailed me and he's like, I looked at your channel and you do a lot of at-home 3D printing, and that's really not what this is about. This is like a professional trade show. I'm like, oh, I know. I went to the one last year. Like, I'll be honest, I'm mostly going just to try and get, you know, I could get some content out of it. Like, you guys will see some videos. But it's put it this way, everything you see there is request a quote prices. So yeah, it's not something, you know, you're going to be buying, but you know, it's cool to show off what else is out there. Plus I get to go meet like the E3D folks and the Prusa folks and all the other cool people there, so. But I think I'm flying because I actually got a sponsor for it now. Thank you, Jason. Or at least it looks like. We'll see. Gotta make sure it's all good before I really announce it. But I'll be able to actually fly instead of have to drive and actually do it properly. Well, the thing is too, it's gonna be like talk to E3D them. I'm gonna see him 2 weeks before at Rocky Mountain. That's the thing. Rocky Mountain's like 2 weeks before. Even 3D 25 PL. Is that Polish? I think that's Polish. Hope it's enough for a beer or coffee. Why not both? Our currency is actually, let me see. Yeah, that'll cover a beer. Cheers. Stick around today. Take care. Is stringing unavoidable? I don't know. I've never actually printed wood PLA. I'm sure you could tune it out with enough work. When are we going to get that? If somebody decides to design one, but as of right now, not really. The problem is if you start once you start getting into the world of like 3-axis or 4-axis, tool changing, all that, you're getting into a world that involves a lot more than just off-the-shelf components that can easily be used to build something. And that's kind of the whole ethos of Voron, is printers built just using off-the-shelf components, right? Nothing custom. And it's kind of hard to do like tool changing in 4-axis accurately without machine components, which are custom components. So. Revo? Maybe I'll reach out to E3, see if they want to sponsor like Murph or something. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think E3D does a lot of sponsoring. Same with like Prusa. When was the last time you saw something sponsored by Prusa? And somebody was asking about the camera. If you're talking about this camera, it's an A6300. This one is a Canon Vixia RF 800. Oh, an HF R800. Yeah, if you're printing wood fill, anything filled, like any filled plastic, you really honestly should be using a 0.6 or bigger nozzle. I would really like to see 0.5 millimeter obsidian nozzles, because that would pretty much be my go-to in every machine I have, for the most part. Okay, so that is that, part 5. Oh wow, it's another one. So yeah, so on some builds with this, you can basically loop these. As long as you get like one power going there, and then you can just kind of daisy chain them. But this manual has you connected to the 3 positive and 3 negative there. It's not a wrong way of doing it, it's not a right way of doing it, just a way of doing it, because there's a few ways of doing this. 0.5 Basel. I haven't played with the Basel yet. The Basel's pricey. And I don't do high-speed printing, so it's kind of a, like, it would be very wasted on me. Is there a Voron mod? Yeah, there's the Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder, if you're looking to do multi-material. That's a thing. And then there's the Tridex, which is a Trident IDEX machine, if you're looking for an IDEX machine. There are kits for the Enraged Rabbit. There are no kits for Tridex as far as I'm aware. But it's mostly a Trident with a few extras, so it's not too hard to source. As an IDEX, it's not official. It's not official. Like, it's by Eddie the engineer, so it's by somebody on the team designed it, but it's not like an official Voron like thing. It's a mod. I think Steve built one. Did Steve build one? I could have sworn Steve built one. Or he's in the process of building one or something. You did? Okay, yeah, so it was. Okay, so I was right. Is the last one because that's bent out. Ooh. An IDEX machine. Yeah, Trident would be pretty good for an IDEX. I know Eddie's works pretty good. And with tap, with 2 tap tool heads. Getting your XYZ offsets set pretty good. Or your Z offsets consistent between the 2 machines quite easily, actually. Because you'd be able to independently set both machines, or both tool heads Z offset in one go. Just tap, tap, done. Okay, so that's that. So all those are in. So those 3 are black, those 3 are red. We got positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. Okay. So we got that. Okay. Part 6, we just did that. Bed. Okay, so we got to put the bed on. Oh, actually, no, we're not putting the bed on. Okay, so SSR. So yeah, so we're doing that. So this is the 32 volt side. Okay. No tap for Tridex. Okay, I have it on my Trident. Has tap. And we're probably actually going to do a mod to the V. We're probably going to put tap on the LDO and take clicky off of it. Because I do have a metal tap kit coming in. And I'm finally going to try out, you know, the noodly carbon fiber arms to see if it's worth it. So we'll see. We shall see. Schedule for that is, I have no idea. Whenever it comes up and I get free time in the schedule. Tap is Tridex's belt routing. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Belt routing is completely different on that thing. So you'd have to redesign the tool heads. Good point. Good point. I forgot. Okay, so for those who have never worked with an SSR before, this is not the right camera. This is a solid state relay, okay? So what you do, what it allows you to do, it allows you to use a low voltage, low amp signal to control a high voltage signal. Basically, it's an on-off switch, a glorified on-off switch. So you could use, we're using the bed out off the controller, which I like doing because it's easy for the human monkey caveman brain to understand. Bed is bed. You could use a fan output if you want. You could use really anything that's between 3 and 32 volts to control it, and you actually have the ability to control it. So don't hook it up to an always-on fan. But this allows you to control your mains power bed using something that's not rated for mains power, because you can't hook mains power. Don't hook mains power up to this. Do not do that. You're gonna have a bad time. Now, if you were using a DC bed, you would power the bed directly off your controller, though, because it'd be 24 volts. But since we're using a mains power bed, you need a solid state relay to control it. And there is a positive and negative for both sides. Make sure you wire those up correctly. Of mains versus DC bed. So a mains bed is going to heat up faster. Okay, you're dumping mains voltage into the bed instead of DC, so it's going to usually heat up faster. It's more efficient power wise, so you use less power, and in my opinion it's safer because instead of pushing a lot of amps through a wire, you're pushing low amps but higher voltage. Because the load on these is only like, depending on the size of the bed, is like 3 to 5 amps. which some heaters are 3 to 5 amps in your hot end. So the only difference is usually you don't see them a lot on moving beds because there's a little bit more safety precautions to take place because it still is mains voltage. It's and additional cost of having to also have a good quality SSR. Do you have a Rapido? I have a Rapido. I have a Rapido high flow, ultra high flow. We are using we're doing what the manual says. I'm pretty sure the heater, like the hot end heater should be fine for a Rapido. I have a Rapido in Tallboy, and it's on a normal Octopus hot end output, and it works fine. At least it used fine last time I used it over a year ago. Box of Photech SSRs. There you go. Here's the thing. If you're going to use a not high quality SSR, like I like using Ombrons and Krydums, those you can get by with getting like a 10 amp one. If you're going to use a an Asian market one, we'll put it that way, yes, you can. Just make sure you over-spec it, because usually they work. They'll work, but they won't be rated for what they're rated. So if it says it's rated for 10 amps, I wouldn't put 10 amps into it. But if it's rated for 40 amps, like this one is, and you're only hitting it with under 5 amps, you're probably fine. So. How to find out proper wire gauge for connecting PSU to motherboard. I have 24 and 15 amp power. Okay, 24, don't use, okay, at the usual go-to I go for, technically you can use 20 gauge for pretty much everything other than the mains power. Okay, so connecting, you know, your power supply to that, I use, normally how I do it, mains I use 16 gauge because that's what's in your wall, at least in North America here for wire. So anytime I'm using mains power, I use 16 gauge, okay? Power supply to motherboard, I use 20 gauge, and also heaters, I use 20 gauge, okay? So the heater to like your hot end heater, I use 20 gauge. Bed wiring, I use whatever gauge the bed comes with, and usually I just use that wire. Everything else, fans and whatnot, you can use 24. So main 16, power delivery for heaters and your control board 20, and everything else 24. That's usually what I do. When in doubt, just use bigger wire. If you're concerned at all, just go bigger wire. The 14 gauge? Isn't it Nomex 16 gauge? What's in the walls? I could have sworn it was 16 gauge, unless they changed it, or I'm just misremembering. 14 gauge for 15 amp circuit. Oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong then. I was wrong. Well, I use 16 gauge because that's what I have. Because I got a bunch of it. I don't know why I have a bunch of it, but I have a bunch of it. There we go. Now, did I say that on purpose, or did I say that just to get more chat interaction from you guys correcting me? Okay, so bed, so we've done that. Okay, that's cool. Cool, we can close that. Okay, so there's checkpoint 1. Okay, stepper motor preparation. Okay, this is easy. And they plug in. Cool. So we know where they go. Okay, so stepper left. So I've got this. What do I have here? I've got that wire. That wire. I'm assuming these are all the same. 1, 2, 3. Should be 6 of these. 4, 5, 6. Okay. So what you do actually, you just take raw copper wire, 10 gauge single strand wire, use it for everything, you'll be fine. Don't actually do that. I've seen people wire up a Voron with single strand wire that you would use in your wall. I've seen people do it. So, yeah. Okay, so here comes the big question. Do I shorten these wires? Or do I try and stuff all the extra wire in the drag chain? Because I'm also going to have the umbilical coming through this. Do I shorten the wires or do I don't shorten the wires? I am going to shorten the wires. Because yeah, we're going to shorten the wires. Gonna make it look pretty. Make it look pretty. I'm gonna have to de-pin them too. Yeah, because otherwise I'm gonna have to shove so many runs of wire in here, it's gonna be ridiculous. Snip. For CAN bus pound, I 20 gauge is what I would use. At least the bed, like the ones for the bed, we can hide underneath, so. Does any belt issues? No. Put the back cover on and nobody see. I would know. I would know. I would know. The IDEX version has belt. No, the IDEX version of the Trident doesn't have belt issues. It just it has more belts, so it's not compatible with the tap, because there's an extra belt. There's 3 belts and an IDEX. When you're running IDEX Core XY, you have 3 belts instead of 2. What is the reason to go for a RatRig instead of a Voron or Bamboo Lab? Okay, so first off, I'm going to single out the Bamboo. Do you want a machine that you just take out of the box, you hit print, you don't mess with, and if anything goes wrong, you send it back to the factory and they fix it? Get a Bamboo. If you want a project, don't get a Bamboo. Okay, so there you go, right there. So that's going to decide your answer for that. As for Voron versus RatRig, different design ethos, different, like, RatRig is a company. RatRig is a company, they sell this printer as a kit. You can self-source a RatRig, but as far as I know, you can only buy kits from RatRig. So RatRig is a company. Voron is just a design group. People designing stuff and putting them out there for free. You don't buy from Voron, you either self-source or buy a kit that somebody else put together. I would say RatRig scale better to the bigger sizes. There are a beefier printer. They are a much beefier printer. Downside to that is they're bigger and they're heavier. So yeah. So it depends what you're looking to do. If you want a 500 millimeter cube Core XY, go with a RatRig. If you want a little, 250 millimeter cubed enclosed compact machine, well, there's a V2. That's a 250 printer. This is 200. Bit of size difference. But this you can sit on. And in the event of a zombie apocalypse, you can use it to clear stairways before you travel down them. Use it as a wrecking ball. Okay. So anytime you cut your wires and you repin them, keep the part you cut off so you can make sure you put the wires back on in the right order. The last thing you want to do is not put them on in the right order and screw everything up. So blue, red, green, black. Then you might need some tweezers to make sure these are actually in all the way. It should actually click into place. And that goes there. Yeah, that's much cleaner. That's much cleaner. I'm gonna get some the little stick-on zip tie holders right here. Make it look nice. Okay. Yeah, RatRig have a better chance at printing Ultim than Toasty. No, they both have the same limitations. They both have 3D printed components inside dedicated to their, critical to their function. These machines are not meant to print Ultim. If you are dropping $300 a spool on Ultim, buy a dedicated machine that is designed to print Ultim. And unless you are trying to print one for internet points, if you have a use case that actually requires Ultim, you probably have the budget to buy a machine that can actually print Ultim properly, or build a dedicated machine that's designed to print Ultim. Core XY is a horrible motion platform for an enclosed machine printing Ultim, because there's a lot of extras that you could remove not using Core XY that would make printing Ultim a lot easier. So. I'm trying to keep these on just to keep the wires organized for now. Does Steve have some? If somebody can link me Steve's VHB mounts, I'm gonna print off a bunch actually right now. If anyone can link me some, I'll print some off. Like, if you're gonna print Ultim, something like a simple Cartesian is probably a much better bet. Just because there's less going on that can go wrong, and you can substitute a lot of the parts with metal parts. Core XY, you're talking a bunch of machining. They come with an SD card now. Nice. Yeah, mine I had to start from scratch. I am hungry. What time are we at? What time are we at? We're at 12:30. Okay. All I've had to eat today so far was a coffee with a little bit of cream and some yogurt cereal, brand cereal. Diets suck. The ERCFA has so many small parts. That it does. That it does. I don't know, maybe for a print and chill. Okay, so the problem before I try Ultim again on Toasty, I need to actually get a an oven so I can properly dry the Ultim. Because the issue we had last time was the Ultim was way too wet. And that was after running it through my normal dehydrator that I use for all my other filaments for like a day. It was still too wet. You got to dry out Ultim in an oven. And the only oven I have is my, well, oven. So. Thoughts on sensor versus sensorless XY? XY, it's fine. Don't do it in Z. Sensorless homing, especially on Clipper, has gotten a lot better in the last little while. It used to not be great with Core XY. Now it's actually pretty solid. For XY, you're good. For Z, do not do sensorless on Z or on a Delta, because sensorless is only as accurate as the nearest full step. And it's not as repeatable, so it's not good for Z. But for XY, it's plenty good enough for XY homing, because usually XY homing is just to make sure you're on the bed. The only time you're like having to redo XY homing and ensure repeatability is if your print fails and you try to resume. That's the only time Core or XZ or XY homing needs to be repeatable, is that. Otherwise, if you, every time you home your printer, if it's off a millimeter, as long as you're on the bed, you're on the bed. Who cares, right? Because you don't home during a print, you home at the start of a print. So your XY homing could be off a millimeter each time, repeatability. As long as your bed is big enough that you can, you know, absorb that 1 mil, it ain't gonna matter. Although if your homing is not that repeatable, something is probably wrong. Yusuf gifted 1 community membership. Cheers. Posted the zip tie. Okay, 1 second here. Let me get this finished up and I'll get that printed. There we go. Post in the live. There we go. Okay. There we go. Download. Do I have ABS and anything? You have ABS. So we are going to print that on there. Delete. We're gonna print it in blah because I got a bunch of blah. How many of that? 10. Cool. Range. Slice now. Export G code. Save. Printer P226. Load and print. There we go. Okay. Rehome after every layer. No. Although there's enough weird tribal knowledge in 3D printing, I wouldn't be surprised if that is somewhere out there. So many different types of Z sensors. I am really on mechanical Z sensors. I really like physical Z sensors lately. Yeah, I'm biased because I've been using tap, but like actual, like physical Z sensors that go click off the actual physical bed surface itself, I really like right now. They're my jam. So, because I have multiple different printers with multiple different firmwares and I use multiple different slicers, and that's just the workflow I have. I just save it to a folder and hit upload, and that's it. I'm kind of lazy in that way. That's how I've done it. That's how I've always done it. I ain't gonna change. And also, it's because every time I upload something to a printer on a stream, somebody asks me why I'm doing it, and it drives engagement. Is LiDAR even used for Z home? No, it's not accurate enough. Nowhere near accurate enough. Look up the accuracy of commercial grade LiDAR that you could buy for under $1,000. Like actually pull up a LiDAR module and see what the accuracy is. Okay, that one popped out 1 second. You did not get in your home. If a 10-cent micro switch has better repeatability than a $100 LiDAR sensor, no. Okay, why aren't you... Okay, this stupid thing ain't sticking in there. Oh, the stupid tab's broken. Let me explain it. Oh, I crunched the tab, that's why. Okay, 1 second here. Beacon looks really cool. Beacon is really cool, don't get me wrong. It's a really fast inductive probe. So it all the pros and cons of an inductive probe, but fast. That's basically it. I was actually tempted to use a beacon on here, and then I can't because I got a bed with separate magnets in it. It doesn't work on that. Now, if you do 12-hour prints, does saving 5 minutes on your probe cycle at the beginning of a print, is it worth it? That's up to you. Also, it only works with Clipper, as far as I'm aware. So it's an improved inductive probe, but it's still an inductive probe. So you have all the downsides that come with an inductive probe and all the pros that come with an inductive probe. It's just really fast. What are we going to be printing today? Stripping wires is what we're printing today. Okay. So that motor's that. This one is that. Okay, so that's number 2. And then we got number 3, which is the extruder. Okay. So for the extruder, does that have its own wire? It does. So I'm assuming I could just use the wires that come off of it and call it a day. So we are going to do that. Because yo-ho, lo-ho. Because I got a whole fancy thing up here that I can zip bottle tie all this to. So that can go there. We'll deal with the tool head wiring later. Now, is there like an anchor that I got to put on this at some point? I'm assuming maybe an anchor at the top for the drag chains. I don't know. I got a power plug thing here, but that's it. I use Nozzle as conductive probe. Same issue, needs conductive bed. Yep. That's what Lulzbot used to do. I don't know what they're doing now with their printers. I think do their printers even have probes? Their sidekicks. What do the sidekick use? Also, I'm just pointing this out just to point it out because I'm just seeing this. How come these 3 are the motors that are up here and these 3 are the motors down here? Shouldn't these 3 be your XY extruder and these be your Z? Because the Z's down here and the XYE's up there. Meh. I'm like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I'm just like, wait a minute. Put the board on backwards. No, I followed the picture. Power's down. For confusion. Yeah, and then your Z goes up there. So yeah, the Z comes up from the bottom. So you got Z left, which is okay, this is looking at the bottom. Okay, this is at the bottom looking up. Okay. Okay. In the border. But then it's wrong for everything else in the picture. Like, I'm hearing a fan start up, and I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh, it's that. Okay, so let's get these ones. These ones, I'm not going to shorten it. I'm just going to, 1, 2, 3. Why do I have a spare? That spare is probably for an extruder motor that we didn't end up using. Ooh, did I snip the wire? I did not. Oh, the V-Core 3 upwards, that's okay. Here's the thing, you're building the printer, what, like, it's your build. You can do whatever the hell you want. It's easy to reassign motors in Clipper, so it's not a huge deal where you plug them in, really. So if you were an OCD person and you wanted to have slightly cleaner wiring, you could do it that way. You can do whatever you want. But for our Z wire, I'm going to leave the extra underneath. We're not going to bother with shortening these. We can hide it underneath. Because here's the thing. You take a picture of the back of all the wiring and show how neat it is, and everyone goes, ooh, ah. No, you don't show underneath where there's nothing. That's the key. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the top and work our way down. So look right, rear, and left. And left is looking at it from the bottom. This orthographic view is hurting my brain. So left from the front. Okay, so left from the front. So we've got, and that goes there. Okay, so left from the front. So left is this one. Plug in the right side helps. Also, is Big Tree Tech still doing it? 0, 1. Yeah, they're still doing it. You have 8 drivers on this board. Why are you still putting a double up for the Z? Why? I've got motor 0, motor 1, motor 2, 1, motor 2, 2. What setup are you doing where you have 8 motors in action and you need to double up your Z lead screw? Why? Get rid of it. You don't need it. Have 8 drivers, 8 plugs. Why are you putting an extra plug on the board? It just confuses people. Why you do this? Why you do this? Wastage. So front. Hide X Ender 3. You would need a lot of extruders. So you have X, Y, Z, and then you could put 5 extruders. So unless you're running 5 independent extruders on a Prusa or any other V-wheel bed flinger with 2 Z motors, that's the only time you would need to double up your Z motors. Okay, rear. Okay, so that's rear. Why do you do this? Why? Well, no, it's not painful. Like at the end of the day, it's a dumb little nitpick, but it's super annoying when you're plugging in your motors and you think you did it right, and it's like, oh wait, no, because it's like plug it in for the first 3, and it's like, no, it's not the first 3. It's the first 2, then skip 1, then 3. And it just makes it more cluttered. Okay, that's that one. Octopus 8. It has 8 drivers. That's the thing, but it has 9 connectors because it doubles up a motor for some reason. Ow. Ballant, $24.90. Huff, Hungarian, $7 Canadian. Cool. Cheers. Wiring is always fun. It is. What is Huff? Huff, Hungarian. That's like the only country I know that begins with an H. Huff. What is Huff? That's a new one. Huff. Currency. Hungarian forint. Hungarian forint. Okay. Splitting a Z, no. When you split your Z, when you have 2 separate Z motors for both sides, what you can do is if you have your probe on your tool head, during your probe cycle, you can de-rack your crossbar. So you know how to Prusa, how it crashes in the top gantry, and some of them you got to get the soup cans to rack out your gantry, de-rack your gantry. If you have independent Z motors, you could just do it with your probe and it'll just do it automatically in the firmware at the start of a print. That's what like the Voron's doing, like the V2 and the Trident and whatnot, where it, and this does it where it like automatically trams out your bed to your gantry. Yeah, see, if you had your Z up here, you just have them there. Oh, a lot of wires. Okay, well, that's that. Okay, so that is that. Okay, so we got all our motors plugged in. Fan prep, cool. Hot end fan is 40, 10, 24 volts, while the cooling fan is 12. Okay, the part cooling fan requires an extension, either solder or use cable extensions to extend it by 450 millimeters on a 3-core cable. How the hell do I, okay, is this how I wire it up? No, that's just the regular part. No, that's the PWM. So this has 4 wires coming out of it on the Sanyo. So I'm gonna have to solder extensions on here, I bet. Does it show a 4-wire setup? It does not. Because we got a bunch of wires. We got a bunch of wires. I got a red, a black, a blue, and a white on this thing. My other fan's easy. The other fans are easy. The other fans are just normal fans. I got a ton of wiring on it, so we're good there. So this one, this is the part fan. This is part fan, 12 volt. Or is the part fan 12 volt? Hot end fan. Hot end fan is 24 volt. Yeah, so that's easy. That goes 24 volt. Which is this one. Boom, bang, boom, done. Easy peasy. Actually, no, it goes down there. Where does it go? Goes down there. So that goes there. Boom. Sneaking through this first. Boom. Okay. So I gotta extend. We've got clips and connectors here for, do they make extensions? Do I have extensions? No, this is, what are these for? Okay, so I got microfits on here for the thermistor, but I don't actually have the other side of that, I don't think. So I'm gonna have to make up extensions for that too. A low voltage high amp fan. For what? The part cooling fan is stupidly overpowered on this thing. It's like 1.6 amps. So how do you wire up the 4 fan? Because this is 3. I have 4. I got 4 wires. I've got white, blue, black, red. So is it like 24 volt high low, or 24 volt positive negative, and then 5 volt positive negative for this thing? Only use 3. So which 3 do I use? Okay. Cooling fan 12 volt. So it's 12 volt. Connect the PWM wire to the negative pin. Connect the positive and negative wire to the 12 volt. Okay. Yellow is tack. There is no yellow. I got white, blue, red, black. Where's the 4-wire instructions? Where is the 4-wire instructions? I don't see 4-wire instructions. Add a comment. Okay. Blue is tack. Okay. So blue is tack. So I don't need tack, obviously. And this fan is 12 volt, right? So this is 12 volt. Onboard the fan voltage. So then what's the blue wire? Connect the PWM wire to the negative fan. So that, okay. Oh, because it changes on negative, yeah. Step 31, installs PWM, okay. Okay, the pulse width modulation is okay. On Delta fans, the blue wire is the PWM. On Sanios, it's the brown wire. Okay. Okay, so I've got red, black, white. So I'm ignoring the white wire basically. So ignore the white wire. Blue is PWM, and then red and black is power. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. And it's 12 volt. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Is it a Delta that I have? What's the other one here? The other one I have here is a Protechnic, and that has a yellow blue. Yeah, so, okay, so. Okay, so use blue, don't use white. So blue, and then red, black. Okay, so I gotta solder some extensions on here. And I need to put the extensions down here so that they are not part of the cable chain that actually moves, because I don't want them moving. So I gotta cut it right about there. Okay. So I'm gonna actually take this fan off so I can do this easier. Snip. I've never done a 4-fan wiring before, so this is new to me. There. Yeah, this is a Nidec Ultra Flow, and it is 12 volt, 1.6 amp. Raymond, this isn't that kind of fan. That's printing okay. Okay, let's see what's going on. Did Donald Trump get arrested yet? No, not yet. Okay. Joel just posted it on the shoulder. Oh, I seen that. That was yesterday. Unless it's like a new. Let me. Drop effect's gonna be at rapid. That'll be cool. Oh, yeah, he posted that picture yesterday. I'm like, it's about time. Yeah, because what's his name? Mandic really is in the area and is building it with them, or helping them build it. So it should have been me. If only I lived in, you know, another country on the other side of the continent. Well, they really shield these wires up. Okay, one second. I build my Voron. Do you really think Joel printed his own parts? Come on, like, he got hooked up. He's got some he's got the doc special. In safe haven in Canada. No, we don't want him. It's crappy enough we have politicians trying to emulate that style. Keep that shit down there. We don't want to deal with that. Alright, tweezers. There we go. Use the negative terminal on a spare. The only fan and board is booted to connect in the black wire. Okay. Yeah, so from my understanding, I just want to double check this. Okay. So we got 4 wires here. Okay. So red and black are 12 volt. So they connect to 12 volt and ground. And then the blue wire is the PWM wire. And that's the one I connect down here to this ground. And then I don't use the white wire. That's what I'm assuming. And then I don't use the white wire. And I'm just correct. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna cut the white wire and get rid of it so I don't accidentally use it. Okay. We got our friend out. Do a little bit of soldering. Gonna get a Prusa XL. I got one pre-ordered, but it's a DIY 2-headed one, so it's gonna be a while. Because Prusa is prioritizing single-headed ones first, and they're not sending out review ones, so, which I commend them for, actually. There we go. So I got blue, red, and black. Wow! I actually have the right size wire for this too. Actually, what gauge is this? I don't know. I'm assuming it's the same gauge as that. Well, we should be good. Look at this. I actually have the right kind of wire for this. It's a Christmas miracle. How long do I need? Was it 450 millimeters? So what, 350? Yeah, good enough. Don't leave it bare. It's all gonna get shrink wrap, don't worry. Everything's gonna be isolated and shrink wrap, don't worry. Not the same gauge wire. Yeah, close enough. Sure. Actually, that is, ooh. I kind of want to use thicker wire for this. At least for the pause. Yeah, I'm going to use thicker wire for this just because there's a lot of amps through that 12 volt. Let's go with this. This is a little thicker, I think. This is 24 gauge. I think this is 18 or 28. Yeah, I think this is 28. Let's go with a little thicker. Just in case, just in case. Oh, it is silicone wire, but I'd rather go with something a little bit thicker for 1.6 amps at 12 volt. Just to play it a bit safer. Bruce needs to innovate. They're doing just fine, believe me. I mean, it's not like, you know, they've got, you know, some of the best filament production going on, and, you know, slicer development and firmware development and an entire ecosystem of printed parts on a website and, you know, everything else they're doing. In doubt, bigger wow. Exactly. .26 gauge lower. This is 28, so we're going to 26 or 24. Markets change. Markets change. And they've changed quite a bit over the last little while. Because 3D printing is not going to be the everyone has one at home thing that a lot of people think it was. And I think we're near market cap for at home 3D printing. It's not growing anywhere near the rate it used to. So pretty much what we got is what we got in terms of market size. At least that's what I think. I don't know the actual data. I'm sure Prusa does, and I'm sure all the other big companies have, you know, market research to fall back on to justify some of their decisions and actions. So. And these are Omni Fixos, and these are awesome, if you're wondering what these are. Here's somebody like me who shakes. These make soldering a heck of a lot easier. Let me picture. Nice. Do I enjoy the smell? I don't really smell it. Yes, I probably should have a fan, but I don't. Somebody in chat saying 24 gauge is not enough. Well, the wire I'm soldering on to the wires that are attached to this thing are bigger, so I think I'm okay. So, like these wires are bigger than these wires, so I think I should be okay. Chat GPT doing 3D printing design. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's gonna be insane how many jobs are gonna be automated out of existence in the next 10 years. Like we better start hoping that we get to that post-scarcity Star Trek future where money isn't really needed, because there's gonna be a lot of people out of the job in the next 10 years. Like it's already getting, people were freaking out over Corridor Digital's video, where they filmed content, they scripted their own content, they filmed their own content, they edited their own content, they did all the compositing for their own content, but all they did was take the images and run it through a AI to actually like make them kind of look anime-ish based on a style that anyone can copy with their own hands. And people were freaking out that they were stealing, okay? It's not, but whatever. Yeah, they have an AI now where you can just type in a prompt, say, hey, give me a video of a person running through a field, and it'll just generate a whole video now of a person running through a field. So, yeah. We're doomed. We are so doomed. Yeah, the whole people freaking out over, oh my God, they're stealing. Yeah, no, they're not. No, they're not. Inspiration is not stealing, and fair use and whatnot. Yeah, it's not stealing. These too small? I may have to go up a size. Always need a plumber. Call Mario. Don't tell me I dropped them. Where are you? I don't have the right size. Here? No. Will do. Ah, you're too big. That'll work. Yeah, I worked in the tool and mold trade, even then, your job's not going to get automated out of existence. It's just going to be outsourced. That's what happened to me. Like, I still had a job when I quit, but so many of the jobs that we did have got eliminated due to the company just going, yeah, we could pay some guys over in China a fraction of what we're paying you to do it, so we're just going to pay them to do it. And a lot of people lost their jobs to that. Because, you know, that's what happens when your company gets bought by a foreign investment firm. They try to make as much money as possible to justify their expenditure on your company. Turning the camera screen the other way. What do you mean turning it the other way? What camera screen? Construction and plumbing. Well, just wait till all the 3D printed houses put you all out of the jobs. Those will never come. There's no way 3D printing housing will ever be economical. Camcorder one. Oh. That would help. Yep, all I'm saying is we're at the point now near where there's enough generated in society where really most people probably don't really need a job anymore, and basic income and what's is it basic minimum income, basic income? We're kind of at that point. We should be kind of at that point right now. There's enough produced that there should be a minimum income, living wage or whatever it's called. There we go. Good as new. Universal basic income. Yeah, we should be at that point. But short-term profits, man. Think of the short-term profits. Those are so important. We need those short-term profits. Can't do anything without my short-term profits. Billionaires in... I'm of the belief money should work like it does in Legend of Zelda, at least before the new one, where you have your wallet and your wallet only holds so many rupees, and when you can't, once your wallet's full, you can't pick up. So we'll pick a number like 100 million. You just can't make more than 100 million. You just can't. Anything beyond that, you don't need that. It goes into like a fund or something. It goes to parks or something. And if you get to that point where you make 100 million, you get a little plaque. It's called, congratulations, you won capitalism, and we name a dog park after you. Sound good? That sounds good. Dangerous close communism. It's not communism. 100 million, capitalism with a limit of 100 million in communism. I don't know about you, but I think there's kind of a bit of a difference between that. I'm all for a system of capitalism where the gross excesses of the current system are removed and used to support those on the lower end of the system. Because, you know, when you introduce social programs and assistance and mental health and you know, that kind of stuff, crimes go down. And, you know, when people are healthier, people rely less on the medical system. There's a bunch of benefits to everyone being better off, especially at the lower end. And I did not make these anywhere near long enough. Holy shit. I'm an idiot. Why did I not make these long enough? I made these way too short. Why did I make these way too short? Wow, I'm a genius. Okay, time to solder more wires. Ladder is not possible. Why not? You're stuck in the system, man. Just stuck in the system. I mean, let's be honest, the current system ain't great. How did I not make these long enough? I'm a genius. I'm a big genius. One more side. Democratic social. I know, because, you know, like Sweden and Finland are such hellhole countries. I mean, the answer is easy. You just eat the rich, right? You just eat the rich. Simple as that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's okay. It's all gonna be taken over by the robots anyways before we figure it out. And then the robots will figure it out. And either we'll be in a utopia or we'll be working in the silicon mines. One or the other. Either way, it won't be our problem anymore. I, for one, welcome our robot overlords, because let's be honest, our current government made of humans ain't great. The zombies will come. I'm thinking for aliens. I think we're due for aliens at this point, honestly. I wouldn't doubt it. Like, honestly, it wouldn't even, like, surprise me. If I turn on the news and it's like, aliens have arrived, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. It's one or the other. One or the other. Aliens fight the AI. Ooh, there we go. Chat GPT versus ET. There we go. That's how you do it. Think of the content. Think of the content. Somehow get Mr. Beast involved in that. Why does the smoke always go? I got a fan actually going now in the room and the smoke still comes towards me. Chat GPT versus Predator. Okay, so this is magnetic, so luckily it sticks. Sort of. What time are we at right now? Remember, you gotta remind me when we get close to 2, because one, I gotta do the giveaway, and 2, I gotta go pick up the little guy at school. So. Kirby fan. I keep meaning to print that, but I keep forgetting to. Like. Install Chat GPT locally? Ooh. So you're telling me soon I can have my own Lucy Lou bot? And please tell me some of you guys get that reference. I know I gotta stop quoting Simpsons stuff because some of you guys are too young for that. Some of you kids are too young for that. Hopefully Futurama ain't that young. I will never forget you. Memory deleted. So here's the problem. I have Google Homes in my house, right? And I've been dabbling around with ChatGPT a bit. But the problem is now I talk to the Google Homes like ChatGPT and I expect the same kind of thing. And I'm kind of disappointed when it's like, oh, here's my canned response. That's just the answer off the first Google result. I'm like, no, I want my fake AI. Ren and Stimpy. Oh God, I watched Ren and Stimpy as a kid, but I was like maybe a little too young for that, and it was interesting. Ren and Stimpy is interesting, that's for sure. You idiot. Dang it, I'm missing the actual size I need. Wire is a wire is a wire. Now I made this way too long, but happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy. Yeah, there's, I remember some of it. Not much of it's PG though. Beavis and Butthead. I remember watching the Beavis and Butthead movie in movie theaters. I remember going to that. That I remember. Is this a goddamn? Gary gifted 1 community membership. Cheers, Gary. The bad guy in that movie was voiced by Bruce Willis, actually. Can't remember what his character's name was, but he was voiced by it was Bruce Willis. Wasn't it Bruce Willis and Demi Moore were the two the bad people? And they were like uncredited or something like that. I remember reading about that. Not really think. Oh yeah, it's definitely it's out of all the types of humor out there, Beavis and Butthead is one of those types of humor. It's definitely its own thing. Okay, so you're gonna come down here, come across here, come down here. Okay. Yeah, Jackass, back when Jackass was actually on TV. Now you watch Jackass and you're like, oh my god, everyone's getting old. We're all gonna die. Now you watch Jackass for an existential crisis about getting older. That's what you watch Jackass for now. It's like, all the people I grew up watching are old, and I'm getting old. Here's the thing, people are like, oh, why doesn't MTV play music videos? Because they couldn't. If MTV were to go back and do music videos, they would go out of business so quick because it's not profitable anymore. Nobody watches music videos anymore. And if they do, they just go on YouTube. Times change. You killed the radio star? Yep. I want to play Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Think of the fire suppression system for printers. If you're worried about your printer catching fire, if you were, okay, I'm not going to say they're a bad idea, okay, because you know people, I'm a public figure when it comes to 3D printing, and people will do what I say sometimes. You know, I tell them not to. So, not going to say they're a bad idea. But if you're that concerned about something catching fire in your house, would you keep it in your house? I don't have a fire suppression system for anything else in my house other than fire extinguishers, and I have fire extinguishers in this room and in my kitchen. But I mean, like, you don't put a fire suppression system above your toaster or your oven. So if you're that worried about your printer catching fire, what is it doing in your house to begin with? Okay, which one's positive and which one's negative? So you are that. That is that. Okay, so you're gonna go into the middle. Okay. Positive and negative. Positives on the inside, okay. Negative on the outside. Yeah, that's kind of my thinking when it comes to fire suppression. If you want to put one in for extra safety measures, by all means do it. But if you're that concerned about something actually catching fire in your house, where you live, where your family is, why is it in your house to begin with in the first place? Oh, it would help if I actually put these in the right way. Did you know locking tabs only work if they actually put them, if you put them in a way where they can actually lock? There we go. There's 12 volt power. Click in there, get in your hole. Where is my paper set? I always misplace. There. One of them. Like, that's one of the things, like, that's one of the clips I've probably recorded like a million times for my resin video that I'm working on, is safety precautions. Because, yeah, there are, you know, your resin printer should not be in your house. It should be in a ventilated enclosure that exhausts outside. but guess what? Not everyone has that. And that's not practical for everyone. So what do you do then? Well, I'm not going to tell you an unsafe way of doing it, but technically I'm not even doing it in a safe way. So like, what do you do? And then I go, follow the manufacturer recommended safety guidelines. Yep. You must do what you feel is right. Okay. What are we at right now? We're at 135. Make sure you enter for your chance to win some filament from Polymaker. Link in the description. How's that coming along? That'll be done soon. Okay, so that is that fan. That is the other fan. So we got those two fans hooked up. Oh, that goes down here. Yep. Hot end fan. So we put that in. That went there. We're good there. Cooling fan. I don't have cooling fan. Okay, so I got to make these cables. Okay, so we got to make some connectors here. I've got, and these come up from underneath, right? So we haven't organized the tool yet. I'm kind of tempted to pause where we are right now. Just because I don't want to accidentally be in the middle of something. And then next stream we can finish up the wiring and move on to something else. So I'm thinking we might end up calling the build finished here. And then we'll let these parts finish printing. I'll organize the wires and then we'll finish up on the tool head next stream, I think. Is that okay? Yeah. So I'm thinking we might pause it here for now because this should be done 10 minutes. Oh man, we got part failure. Oh, I got a warp part. Dang it, I got one part that's warping. Oh well, a few of them are usable. RatRig or Creality? Anything but Creality. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend a single Creality printer other than I only have $99 and I need a 3D printer. Okay, then yeah, go buy the Micro Center Special. Other than that, I wouldn't recommend a single Creality printer, honestly. I don't think any of them are worth it. They've been sitting at their, well, we just do the same V-wheel bed flinger over and over again for too long. That's not good. Popped off. Pause. Yeah. Well, we're missing a few top layers, but they're done. I can live without a few top layers. Can you live without a few top layers? I can live without a few cosmetic top layers. Ooh, that's hot. That's hot. That's hot. Ah! 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 Yeah, Saval SV06 is currently my like recommended go-to printer for. I want a printer. What do you want? I don't know. Buy an SV06. I want a printer. Okay, what's your budget? I don't know. Over 500, less than 1,000. Buy a P1P. And also, what are you going to use the printer for? Because different people use printers for different things. So. SV06 Plus. The SV06 Plus, I would honestly only recommend if you need the room, that volume, because it's big. Like, it's a big bed flinger. I do not like big bed flingers. The SV06 Plus is about as big of a bed flinger as I would ever recommend, honestly, because it's big. KP3S is also valid small. the KP3S is my absolute, how much is a KP3S? It's like 150, isn't it? KP3S. 169. Nice. Yeah, this is probably like the cheapest printer I feel safe recommended, unless you are absolutely, I refuse to spend more than $100. Then go buy, the cheap ender. But otherwise, spend more, get a better printer. You'll get more out of it. Especially, I don't get the, I'm saving money on the printer so I could spend a ton of money on mods to bring it up to the near the similarity of a printer I could have just spent the money on to begin with, and probably even a bit less. Because I'm learning by dealing with a crappy printer. Is an owner of 500mm slinger not recommended? Yeah. Show close up? Yeah. Honestly, I view people who like buy a really shitty printer to fix up to a decent printer. It's the same as buying like a Honda Civic and spending a ton of money on upgrades when you could have just bought, you know, an okay muscle car or something like that. Like I know not everyone likes it, but like if you're just after speed, you can get a lot of speed just buying a used Mustang versus, you know, buying a Civic and throwing on everything you can at it to try and get some semblance of power out of it. Yeah, the Honda Civic mentality. Exactly. Sunk cost fallacy. If you want a good printer, just buy a good printer. There's a lot of good printers out there. You can just buy them. Driving well, here's the thing, if that's what you want, yeah, but that's driving. If your hobby is tuning and modding cars, then okay, yeah, but if you're just after the driving experience, just buy something that drives good out of the box, if that's what you're after. If you just want to print good, just buy a good printer. But you do you. That's the thing. I'm not your mom. I'm not your dad. I'm your cousin. No, just do what you want to do. If what you want to do is what you want to do, then do it. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna skip that. Hot end thermistor, end stop. So yeah, we gotta plug all the end stops in still. Haven't done any of that. Probe, haven't done any of that. Bed, haven't done any of that. Raspberry Pi. What's the Raspberry Pi powered off of? You're taking 5 volt from there into the Pi? Okay, so that's easy. Okay, and ground from there into the Pi. Okay, that's easy peasy. Why are we pulling two to voltage is very. Run 4 power cables in order to keep power. Okay. Okay. We can do that. We can do that, sure. Or you can just power it over USB, which probably what we'll end up doing. Okay, cable management. Yeah, cable management. There's nothing about the mains? Where's the mains at? They didn't say anything about mains. Does it not touch mains at all? Like, does it not cover mains at all in this? They don't. Okay. I mean, fair enough. If you don't know what you're doing, you shouldn't be playing with mains, but... That goes like that. I'm assuming this just goes, like, here. You can mount this wherever. Put it right there. Actually, I gotta put it there because you need to get at that, so... Put it right about there. It goes out, around, and into there. Although there's a back part, so I could probably only put that in a certain spot. Say electrician do it. Okay. I mean, fair enough. I'm not gonna, if that's how it is, that's how it is. You never remember how to wire these switches up. I always got to find a reference switch. Okay, how much time do we got? We got 15 minutes. So what's going on? Let's see what's going on in 3D. Let's see what's going on. My Aquila has been decent. Got me to 3. I printed all my Voron parts. Yeah, I had a Monoprice Select Mini. The moment I built a Voron, it just started collecting dust. Specs can't. Is there a specific? I don't know. I've got the panels here. Maybe? I don't know. Because these are custom panels. Let me get these out of here. So that is, I think that's the door and the sides. Yeah, it's got to be the door and the sides. So. These things got some chunk to them. Holy shit. So yeah, that's got to be the front. So that's got to be the front. Yeah, because that's the front. These have got to be the sides, I'm betting. Yeah, that's got to be the side. Because these are smoked. And then we got the top and bottom. I don't think there is a back panel. I don't think there's a bottom back panel. Because that's bottom. This is top. And that's, yeah, I don't think there's a bottom. I don't think there's a panel over this. At least I don't have one. Wouldn't be hard to make one, but. Wood panel. Ooh, some rich mahogany. Mahogany. Yeah, so this is where we're currently at for wiring. So we got motors wired in, power supply wired in, half the tool head. So let's see here. I have that. Where did that USB cable? Okay, then I put it this way. Oh wait, no, how do you power this? You gotta power it by, what is it? No, it doesn't work that way. No, you need to power it off of this USB-C, I think. Because this power inlet is USB. Yeah, so this gotta go like this. That goes there. This goes there. And that can go in there. Yeah, that can go like that. There we go. Might work as long as you don't plug anything else into the Pi. Yeah, I know it doesn't deliver quite the power, but I've done it with other ones and it's been okay so far. I don't know if I'm putting, I will be putting a camera on this though. Yeah, good point. Yeah, so I probably will end up running power to it from now. 2 pairs off the GPIO. Okay, we'll do that. I just remembered I had this cable and I hadn't used it for anything yet, so I'm like, oh, maybe I could just use that. Yeah. Isn't USB-C nice? You can just flip it around however you want. Or are those panel mounted? With screws. They mount directly to the frame. Like they attach to the frame. They don't have clips or anything. Separate 5. I have a separate 5-volt PSU, which I was trying to find it for the V0, but it's huge. Because we got to power the Raspberry Pi off something on the V0. Oh wait, no, we don't, because it's got the Pico Bilical. That's right. I forgot about that. We don't need a power supply. Forgot about that. No power up test. We don't have the mains wired up. We're gonna do that next stream because it's getting to 2 o'clock and I gotta go pick up the little guy at school, so I gotta end the stream right at 2. So we haven't. Just don't connect anything. Yeah. So next stream we'll do that. Resin printer. Yeah, I'm working on it. I didn't like how some of the stuff turned out, so I'm re-recording stuff, and yeah. It's kind of a mixture of a review of this printer, of the X2, plus also talking about resin printing in general. So I was hoping to have it out last weekend, but I didn't like some of the stuff, so I like deleted it, and then I shouldn't have deleted it. Then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna re-record it now. I don't like the takes, and it's funny. I can go live and just build a printer for 3 hours straight, no problem. I try to record an intro to a video. I can't do it. Like I'm not great at planned video content, but I can live stream it. I don't know. Did I print the part? No, they sent me these parts. I believe in the future they will be an option to use ASA or select ASA. So intros. That's what I figured. So what I started doing, I just recorded little parts of the video, and then like I'll come back to the intro later. But now I gotta like redo the intro and a few other things, and I'm like, I gotta record all this again. I'm like, You need to slow down in your pre-made videos. No, I need to speed up. My videos are too long, and I talk about too much stuff. That's the problem. I actually have an intro for this video, and I know it's gonna hurt the metrics, but I'm doing it anyways. Conversational, it's not a scripted. Well, the problem is I don't even do scripts. That's the thing. I don't do scripts. And I've tried, believe me, I've tried scripting out a video. It doesn't go too well. What do you use for remote clipper access? I don't control any of my printers outside of my home network. Honestly, I call my wife if I'm not at home and I'm like, hey, how's the print doing? And she checks. That's what I do. And she knows how to turn off the printers. Is that thing heavier than a Voron? Yes. Yes, it is. Let ChatGPT do the script. Ooh, yeah. ChatGPT. Log in. Continue with Google. Next thing. Let's see what it gives out. Intro, 1 minute. There you go. So there's the intro. So I'm just going to use this. Okay, I'm going to stop showing it because that's going to be the video. I do have an 11 Labs voice trained on my voice. I do have an 11 Labs AI trained on my voice. Although I think I used it up because I bought like a 10,000 words and I used them all up. Like that's nuts. It literally scripted out an entire video for me. Like I want to know how many YouTubers are using this. I want to know how many content creators are using this to like help out, like add B-roll. Oh, I bet you you're gonna see a huge rise in fully automated YouTube channels in the future. I believe it. You're gonna have, because here's the thing, how many YouTube channels right now, all they do is read Wikipedia articles. All they are is like, oh, did you know in 1967 there was a factory explosion in Ohio? And it's just talking about a thing that happened, that it just reading the information pretty much from a Wikipedia page with just stock footage put over it. How many YouTube channels are just that? You see a lot of them for like aircraft, like planes, or talking about events that happened, and it's like, ooh, spooky story, and all it is just Wikipedia articles that people make videos, and they get hundreds of thousands of millions of views. So I bet you're gonna see a flood of YouTube channels where all the content is pretty much AI generated, because you just give it a prompt, it spits out the script. You give it a once over just to make sure that it's, you know, legible and it's not like you got random screwed up words. Then you feed it through an AI voice generator. And then what you do is you wait for the AI to come out that does like video editing, and it just throws videos on it and you upload it to YouTube. Done. Why is it always Ohio? Because it's Ohio. You can't have shit. Well, no, you can't have shit in Detroit. Ohio is Ohio. Draw time, draw time. Yeah, let's do a giveaway. Okay, so let me save this because I'm going to use that script. Screw it. I'm totally using parts of that script because it's better than my script, because I didn't do a script. Hi everyone, and welcome to this video where we talk about the safety and downsides of running a Resin 3D printer. Resin 3D printing is an amazing technology that can produce incredible detailed and precise objects, but it's important to be aware of the potential hazards and drawbacks before starting to use one. In this video, we'll cover the most important safety considerations, the downsides of Resin 3D printing, and some tips to minimize the risk. So let's get started. Yeah. I fucking love AI. Okay, let's do a giveaway. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. It sounds like, I know that voice was so close. Okay, so take the script and run through Grammarly. Oh, that would totally make it hard to tell it was fake. Okay, somebody give me a number between 5 and 10. I don't want to count too high. I'm running out of time. Gotta go pick up the little guy. Five. That's a good number. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Round and round she goes. Where it stops, the computer knows, because the computer knows everything now, and you'll get an email from me after the stream ends about how to collect your filament. Belgian Uzi. Belgian Aussie? Belgian Aussie? Belgian Uzi? Aussie. Aussie. Ozzy Osbourne? Super Dave Osborne? Okay, congratulations. You will get an email from me after the stream ends. You'll won yourself a spool of Polymaker filament. Yay! Golf claps in chat. Okay, so I think we're gonna call it there. I gotta go pick up the little guy at school. So again, shout out to RatRig for providing this kit for this video series. Again, there's no contract. I'm not being paid. Words and opinions are my own, blah, blah, blah. Also, shout out to Mandalaroseworks for the bed for this kit. So if you want to check either RatRig or Mandalarose out, links in the description below. Also, shout out to Polymaker for the spool of filament we gave away this stream and every other stream. Check them out as well. Links in the description. And for those of you that donate to the channel, gifted memberships to others, or gifted or became members yourself, I thank you. I would not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create without your continued support. You make it all possible. Again, no stream this Friday because on Thursday, we're doing the stream at 11 a.m. same time. I'm having a guest on. I have Grant from 3D Musketeer. We're going to be talking about printer farms and 3D scanning and all kinds of fun stuff. So we're going to be doing that on Thursday, and there'll be no stream Friday, and then regular stream Saturday with the V0. So we're going to call it there. I got to go pick up the little guy from school and get some food because I'm starving. So yeah, fun stream. We got roughly what I figured we would get done is what it is. I will see you on Thursday. Be safe out there. Enjoy the rest of your week. Wash your hands. Goodbye.